Hi guys, I wanted to share with you the experiences of the lecture events that I've been attending recently. I'll start with Dr. Eugenie Scott of the National Center for Science Education. This was an event at Chapman University in Orange County, and her lecture or speech was basically about the evolving strategies of getting creationism or variations of it into the classroom, public school classrooms to be specific, because obviously, as we know, the scientific community, whether you're talking about peer review, um, biological research, or academia, universities, nobody takes it seriously. That's an understatement. People just don't even consider it more than for a joke. But to get to the point, Dr. Eugenie Scott, knowing what she was talking about, was focusing on telling us how the strategies have evolved over time and common misconceptions of evolution. Now, she started with talking about the various legislations. The recent one is called academic freedom. And academic freedom is very deceptively and I guess Orwellian would be the right word. It's phrased in such a way that it's hard for a person to say, I'm against that, because that to say that you're against academic freedom would imply that you're either opposed to critical thinking or you're opposed to inquiry. And people who understand science and education, especially teaching kids high school and under, should understand that some things are not exactly up for the students to decide, and teachers don't necessarily need to be protected to teach what they like, especially if something is a matter of knowledge, fact, and scientific inquiry. Now, before I attended this speech or lecture, I had in my head a question ready to ask Dr. Scott, which is, how do you sell to an average person who's not a scientist? And maybe they're not religious either. They're just apathetic and probably ignorant, and they just don't know very much about science or religion. How do you sell it to a person as to what's the big deal? Why can't we allow intelligent design or alternative theories? What's the harm? Why shouldn't we teach evolution alternatives? Shouldn't we allow free speech, free inquiry, and what's the harm, basically? But after hearing Dr. Scott explain what she knows about these strategies, it became pretty obvious that you don't need to ask this question as to what's the harm in teaching non-evolution theories. The point is that anybody who wants to teach anything other than evolution has nothing scientific to offer and is motivated by nothing but religious motives. So there you have it. As long as you can expose that people who want to teach alternative to evolution or anything non-scientific, you'll realize very quickly that they're always motivated for religious purposes, and that alone will make it unacceptable. And another point worth bringing up is that, the common myth is that evolution was used to justify communism or Nazism or capitalism. Well, in fact, it's been used to justify just about anything. So really, that's irrelevant. And when something can be twisted to fit just about anything, maybe it's true. What I found a little disappointing about Dr. Scott when it came to Q&A was that somebody said to her, well, Dr. Scott, what do you think about just for a strategy introducing other religious creation myths into the classroom just so that Christians would understand that getting a taste of their own medicine isn't so fun? And Dr. Scott politely said, well, it's not my job to drive anybody crazy. I just want the right science taught. I was a little disappointed that she actually didn't know somebody has done it. It's called the FSM. It's the Flying Spaghetti Monster. It was precisely introduced on the internet for the purpose of showing that if creationism or intelligent design were ever to be taught, then equal time should be logically demanded for all religions, including this one. So that's what I remember of the Eugenie Scott lecture. Thank you.